Hey guys, it's Ken. I wanted to come on and make a very important video about your beliefs and perception, because your beliefs determine what your perception of a situation is. For instance, this is like the perfect story. I think everybody can be able to relate to this on some level, because everybody has like body image issues or used to have them, so can really relate to this. Okay, so my friend called me the other day. She was screaming, she was crying, and she was completely upset. I'm like, oh my god, what happened? I was in Macy's, and this little boy, he wasn't that little, he called me fat. And I'm like, and then she just starts crying, and she's screaming, and I didn't need to really hear what she was saying, because I automatically knew that it was her perception. No biggie. Basically, what she was saying is that this little boy called her fat, and it hurt her. Okay, first of all, he didn't hurt her. He only said something. She hurt herself because of her perception of what he said. She took fat as an insult, and this is the thing. She is fat. Okay, she is fat, or what we consider to be fat in our society. I mean, if you want to get literal, we all are fat, but because we have it in our body. But what we consider fat, large, plus size, whatever. And that's what I had to explain to her. She's like, he called me this and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, calm down. I'm like, dude, you are fat, and she's, excuse me? I'm like, would you prefer a different term? And she's like, plus size. I'm like, what does plus size mean? Large. I'm like, and in order to be considered large, what do you have to have? And she's like, more cushion for the pushing. And I'm like, AKA, let's get scientific here. She's like, body mass. I'm like, fat. Okay, lipids, the good stuff. And she calmed down immediately, because it was kind of like, wow, okay. And so it's so funny, because what people do, what women and men or whoever are doing when they fall into that trap, is they're saying that it's something wrong with being who I am. I am fat. There's something wrong with that, so I'm going to get upset whenever anybody says that. Correct. So basically, in a way, when you react to someone calling you something like that, and you are that, you're dissing yourself. They're not insulting you, you are, because you got mad. They probably were having a really good time, actually. So, and this, like I said, this video is on perception. Okay, you called me something that I am, that I know I am, so in reverse, you like a retard. That's like me walking up to a guy with a beard and be like, hey, you have a beard. Yeah, you have a beard. Dude is gonna be like, yeah, I have a beard. So I know this is kind of silly, but it's a really good example of perception and just how things are really, really messed up in society. You have to learn to think on your own. You have to learn to not be so pulled in and seduced by words, and by your thoughts, and by what other people have said. You have to think for yourself, and that's the problem. Think for yourself, okay? When it comes to the issue of weight and being fat, it's a state of being. It has nothing to do with your size, actually. Nothing. And you're like, what? I wear a size 16. It has nothing to do with my size. I'm huge. No, and 16 is not huge, by the way. But that's just my perception. But it's a state of being, because you have these women who are like a size 4, and they constantly say, I'm so fat. And you're like, no, you're not. You want to hit them, because you're like, you're not. But they truly believe this. I mean, some women go so far as to, like, they stop eating and they get sick, they make themselves sick and all this stuff like that because they truly think they're fat. And then you have these other women who wear like a size, I don't know, like they're larger, you know, really larger, and they have like the hottest boyfriend ever. I mean, oh my God, so gorgeous. And you're like, how did she do that? And you, with your conditioned way of thinking, your Hollywood veil and everything, you're thinking she is not all that or whatever. How did she get him? Because he is. It's because those two people were vibrating on the same level. They have the same energy flowing within them. She was thinking to herself, I'm beautiful, and she truly believed that. And he's thinking, I'm beautiful. I truly believe that. So they were a perfect match for each other. And I'm going to get more into the whole relationship thing later on. But yeah, so that's one example of why those people could have been relationship. Let me write that down. Relationship, because I'll forget. But yeah, so that's one reason, one way why those people could have been attracted to each other. And like I said, it's all about perception. It's not about what these people are saying to you. It's not about what someone is doing to you or whatever. It's about the way you're perceiving it. Because I'm pretty sure you can go back through your life and look at a relationship, a torn relationship, maybe you lost your job or something, and you were really upset over it. It really hurt you at that time. If you go back now from this point in time and change the way you looked at it, you're like, wow, it really wasn't that bad. Man, I slit that guy's tires for nothing. Oops, maybe I should send him a I'm sorry card or something. Well, maybe not that far, but I mean, hey, if that's what you want to do, yeah. But try to step back and perceive things in a more positive way, and life in general will just change. And things that you've never noticed before will just really start to bloom. So when it comes to weight, and someone calls you something, or more so stating the obvious, which is what it really is, you look at them and you're like, I know that. And that's it, because that's what it is. They're stating the obvious. So in actuality, based on how you want to perceive it, hopefully in a more positive light now, they're kind of weird. Okay. Bye.